there. See? No ghost there. Check here. Oh. No. Check there.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Hello, YouTubian!
What's going on, everybody?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Greetings.
However, whenever you're watching this, we appreciate you because you already know time is expensive.
Yes. Thank you for tuning in.
And thank you for subscribing, bot or not. But if you're here for the first time, this show is about everything and anything creative. Anything that sparks your creativity in whatever medium you dabble in.
Yes, expressing your creative soul.
And welcome to another episode of Creativity
Unsheath.
I'm Oliver C.
And I'm Nino.
And yes, we are brothers.
Yes, we are.
And this is the show where we feel
that you should always keep your promise.
One is nothing without your word.
Yeah, word is your bond.
Whatever circumstance or situation that promise is based on, it's a double edge.
Yeah.
But as human beings, how often should we be dabbling in those situations or circumstances? You know what I mean?
Sadly enough, sometimes it could be that person's last words.
Yeah, definitely. And
you just take that with you,
right?
For as long as you live.
Similar to having trust. You don't know if keeping such promise to such person is even worth it.
Yeah, you never know.
And why we're talking about this and what we're looking in today is Casper, the Friendly Ghost.
What? A live-action movie.
The first live-action movie featuring the first CGI lead role.
Oh,
yeah. This movie really set that tempo for later movies that we're going to get from, DreamWorks.
Scooby-Doo, the live action with all those CGI work.
Right. And then everything that came out of Pixar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But Casper was definitely the first one to set that bar, especially this character starting out as a cartoon himself.
Yeah. Yeah. Full circle.
Full circle, starting out as Casper the Friendly Ghost, being featured in 55 theoretical cartoons from 1945 to 1959. And within the midst of that, in 1952, Harvey Comics starts making comics off of him.
Nice.
And then in 1959, they buy the full outright on the character, and Casper became Harvey Comics' popular character.
Yeah, popular franchise, if you will. Like a small one, but very popular.
Yep, and just those who know Casper or grew up on those VHSs.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and in some shape or form, Casper was in our lives, and we just know that name. And it's just not a mattress,
Yeah, you don't sleep on it.
No. But now there is some ownership issues. As far as Harvey Entertainment never renewed the license. So now the name is being used as a mattress.
Maybe as long as they keep the Friendly Ghost as part of the name.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Instead of just Casper. More distinguishable. Separated. The IPs.
Mm-hmm. Business mumbo jumbo.
Mumbo jumbo, isn't it?
But definitely this movie set that bar for CGI and the future of the use of the technology.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out the creators of Casper the Friendly Ghost, Seymour Wright and Joe Oriolo. Without their creativity, and just makes you wonder for their inspiration and if they ever encountered ghosts.
Oh, yeah. It's like Scooby-Doo wasn't really paranormal. They just have people dressed up in costumes. Mm-hmm. But then Casper was like an actual paranormal ghost.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Especially being a kid's cartoon, it's like you're really introducing the paranormal to the world, in a cartoon form,
It's crazy. Even like dead animals. Like Furry, right?
Oh, Furry.
Yeah, man. It's like, damn, it's kind of morbid.
You're my only friend. So, if you haven't seen this movie yet, pause it, save it, watch the movie however you want, and, listen to our takes. But if you want to listen to all the spoilers and the whole plot of this film, continue on with this episode.
Yes, sir.
So Casper opens up two kids who approach this haunted mansion, if you will, based upon a dare. They have to enter the mansion and just have photo proof that they were there. But fighting amongst themselves on who to take the picture first, they didn't realize that Casper was there watching them. And Casper interrupts, like, "Oh, no, don't worry, guys. I'll take the picture." And these kids get frightened. And shout out to one of the kids played by Squints Paladores.
Nice.
Or Logic. The rapper Logic. No, but honestly, I don't know the actor's name, but if you recognize this kid, you probably known him from The Sandlots.
Nice.
Story continues. We open up some sort of inheritance type of meeting because you have the antagonist of this film, Kerrigan Crittenden, played by Kathy Moriarty. She voiced a character in Hey Arnold, by the way.
Oh, no way.
She voiced a writer. I forget the writer's name, but yeah, she voiced the character on that show. But Kathy plays a character named Kerrigan, and right away she gives off these spoiled,
Entitled by, attitude.
ungrateful vibes.
Yeah.
And you can really tell as this inheritance hearing is being unfolded, she's not getting any of her father's riches.
Yeah.
His riches are being donated to multiple charities, but the only thing that she was given was this mansion. But to her, she doesn't know what to do with it. And shout out Ben Steen, who plays Mr. Rugg, the man behind this inheritance hearing. You may notice him from the Clear Eyes commercial.
My dry eyes. Yeah.
Wow.
Very animated character.
But if you don't, you can Google it, YouTube it, however you will. And he was also the professor in The Mask.
The mask, yes. We all wear masks, metaphorically speaking.
Wow.
Mr. Stein, thank you.
So, this hearing, she's totally disgraced and ungrateful that she inherited this house, so she throws away the deed into the fireplace of this office.
Well, he has a fireplace in his office.
Yeah, nice office.
Yeah, man.
But Kerrigan's lawyer, and I guess best friend that she treats really poorly, he notices that the deed has a hidden treasure map behind it because the fire revealed it somehow.
Yeah.
So maybe it had some sort of special ink that made the map appear.
Mm-hmm.
However, the deed was totally dismantled, burned up. There wasn't enough information on it.
Mm-hmm. Singed to almost nothing.
Right? But the surviving words of treasure was seen on that paper. And from there, that motivated Kerrigan to really search this house.
And actually take it.
Take it for what it is. And this mansion takes place in Friendship, Maine.
The state of Maine, just to be clear, right?
Maybe a made-up place. But if this town really exists, then it really sounds friendly.
Yeah, man, I could use some friends.
Subscribe! Friendship, Maine.
Please.
Story continues. Kerrigan and Dibbs, they end up at this mansion. It's raining, it has the haunting vibes. They're scared, they don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
But they hear this friendly voice greeting them. Dibbs is forced to be the man and to protect Kerrigan.
Yeah.
He threatens this ghostly voice with, whatever threat that he can think of. But eventually Casper reveals himself and they're scared. Of course, it's a ghost.
Yeah.
What do you expect from seeing
A spirit.
a thing that you don't see on an everyday basis?
Yeah.
But with that scream, it only woke up Casper's ghostly trio, his
Nice.
uncles.
Oh, yeah. Fatso, Stinky, and Stretch.
And they're doing what they do as ghosts. They're tormenting. They're scaring Kerrigan and Dibbs out of the mansion.
Watching paranormal shows and all the evidence that they get video-wise and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then watching Casper, the ghostly trio, I feel that's just that. They're just having fun, just, taunting, and they're not really malevolent or bad.
They're just having fun.
They're just having fun as spirits.
Hence, like, family members who passed away.
Yeah,
Right?
they're no different from someone with an invisible cloak or jacket, whatever, just having fun with you, like pulling pranks and just being spirits,
Yeah. What's the German word for a noisy ghost? Poltergeist?
Poltergeist.
That's what these guys do. Poltergeist activities. These ghostly trio is just those nosy ghosts.
Yeah, for sure. So back to the story.
Next day, Kerrigan hires the Ghostbusters.
Nice.
We get a visit from Dan Aykroyd's character, but he wasn't there with the rest of the crew. But it's cool to see that shout out.
Yeah, for sure.
We get a visit from a priest. I don't know the actor's name, but we kind of get that whole exorcist, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
And this scene was pretty morbid for a kid's movie,
Yeah.
but this priest, he goes in there,
Yeah.
he doesn't come out the same way. Throw up all over him, and his head is twisted all the way around.
Yeah, 360 degrees.
That whole exorcist shout out. That didn't work, so she goes physical, and she hires a demolition crew just to demolish the whole mansion and just gut it out and just trying to find this such treasure, right?
Yeah.
But the ghostly trio is so terrifying, they just scared the whole construction crew out of the building, off the land, and never return again.
Yeah.
Right? But here's Casper just looking for friends, you know?
It's almost like that saying, like, a house is so haunted, they don't even want to go in it. Like in the real paranormal investigations.
And that's the reputation that this house has
Yeah.
in this town of Friendship, Maine. And that's why you have such kids going there for dares or not daring to step in such place or near it
But
again.
just out of curiosity, yeah.
Right. Story continues. Casper is alone. He's sad. He's watching TV like any other human.
And what was he watching?
His own cartoon.
Nice. How meta is that?
Ghosts!
Yeah, that's so meta right there. As if he just watched his own movie. Like, he just shot that at the studio and then came back home and watched it, like, oh.
Real life of Casper.
Right? The real life of Casper, like, really, like, meta, like, what the hell? And he wasn't impressed either.
No, it's like, nah. Next
It's like,
channel.
Probably how Johnny Depp feels when he watches his movies, like, nah.
Any actor at that is like, I don't watch my own stuff.
For real.
Or it's been a while since I've watched it. The channel surfing continues. Casper, he stumbles upon a segment. There's this paranormal psychologist played by Bill Pullman, and he plays this psychologist dabbling into the paranormal or the afterlife, if you will, and just trying to find answers for those skeptics who don't believe.
Nice.
And this segment just really highlights him and what skeptics feel of the paranormal, and that they really travel from place to place just trying to find answers, right? And helping others who need it.
Yeah,
Right.
almost like the Warrens.
Yeah, the paranormal team from those Conjuring movies, if you're familiar with the Warrens.
Yeah.
But that's what Dr. James Harvey does.
Dr. Harvey.
And within this segment, Dr. Harvey's daughter comes up. She's caught in the middle of this circus of
Ridicule.
of what the paranormal is about.
Yeah, a lot of backlash and criticism from
Right.
people, non-believers and skeptics.
Right. But this attracts Casper. His heartstrings got pulled.
Yeah.
You know, he has attractions to her. That kind of not really answers, but it shows why there's attachments, if you will.
Yeah.
Or why there's hauntings with certain people.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, for sure, attachments, yeah.
So again, if you guys are into the whole paranormal and what that means, and I feel like this is what Casper does, you know, what he feels towards Kat, played by Christina Ricci.
Nice. Wednesday Addams.
Right, if you guys don't know her and just her filmography of successful movies.
Yeah.
Hey, she even played Lizzie Borden.
It's crazy how her character as Wednesday Addams kind of looked like Lizzie Borden. Right, like the half split hair and just that mean stern stare. Damn, what's wrong with this kid?
Story continues.
Nice.
I guess. Casper thinks of Kerrigan as far as bringing Dr. Harvey and of course Kat to Friendship, Maine and with Staff Mansion.
Yeah.
So, supernaturally, Casper puts himself in the phone lines or within the electrical magnetical field or whatever it may be. He travels, ends up at the hotel or maybe B&B that Kerrigan is staying at and haunts her room, if you will. He moves the TV that just so happened to be on wheels, and it grabs Kerrigan's attention, but she's curious of how this TV got so close to her.
Yeah.
But it gives her the idea that, hey, I need to get this Dr. Harvey over
Yeah.
here and get these ghosts out.
Totally. Trying to assess and dissect the problem.
Story continues. Dr. Harvey and Kat are on their way to Whipstaff.
Yeah.
But Kat disliking her dad's reputation as this circus show, if you will. Not liking that she has to move again for I don't know how many times they have moved prior to this moment. But she just seems fed up. Like, she can't make friends. She can't settle. She can't have a normal teenage life, if you will. And this is where the pinky promise comes in, y'all. This is where Dr. Harvey promises Kat that this move will be the last.
Yeah.
And they pinky swore, and that was that.
Yeah.
You know, and they continue to Friendship, Maine.
Yeah. get to know the town.
They arrive to this mansion. They just look amazed. I mean, granted, it has been upkept. There's dead plants and trees and
Cobwebs and everything.
but definitely has those eerie vibes. And then here is Kerrigan and Dibbs waiting for them. They greet them with flowers. They're squishing Christina Ricci's face. I don't know, giving their false admirations. I don't know, whatever it may be. But they get formally introduced. And they get left with the objective as far as for Dr. Harvey's part. But for Kerrigan, she's really eager as far as how fast can he get rid of them. But she doesn't like the answer as far as years. You know, she expects it to be upfront and because she really wants that treasure.
Yeah. She wants to be in there as soon as possible.
Right. So she just leaves Dr. Harvey to what he does and they part ways from there. And then so here's Kat and Dr. Harvey. They enter into this massive mansion and the ambiance and the architecture of this Victorian mansion, dude.
Very enchanting.
Yeah. Really cool vibes.
Especially if it was like nice and fixed and like...
Yeah, you can only imagine, right? Kat and Dr. Harvey are amazed. They're just looking up at just how tall this place is. And kudos to the set designers who created this beauty of a mansion, you know?
Nice construction.
Here's Casper. He's surprised. His plan worked. They're there. He's flustered. He doesn't know how to react. And he's just thinking of ways of how he's going to introduce himself.
Yeah.
Light bulb flickers, but that's more of the electricity kicking in. Kat finds the fuse box and just lights up the whole mansion.
Yeah,
and
nice.
This is where they get to know the place.
Yeah.
Right? Kat is off looking for her room, walking down this hallway. And again, you can really admire the architecture and just almost like the feel of like Crimson Peak and
Woman in Black.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely this Victorian essence. That aura was all over this movie.
Totally.
So Kat's walking down this hallway and she walks into this bedroom of the ghostly trio. You know,
they have their own beds.
Stretch, Fatso, and Stinky.
Yeah.
You know?
Written on their bed too, right?
Right. Snow White, the Seven Dwarfs type
Three
thing.
bears.
But she dismisses that. She continues down the hall and she finds the room that she likes. And just so happens to be Casper's room.
Nice.
He's shocked that she chose his room. She's on his bed. Oh my gosh, there's a girl on my bed.
Nice. And granted, what, Casper like 11, 12 years old?
12 years old and just puberty kicking in, you know.
That's an age.
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting those hormones raging.
Right, for every other kid growing up, right?
Yeah.
Casper's trying to think of a proper way to introduce himself without scaring her off like he did with every other person, you know, before her. But she's just doing her thing and she throws a sock behind her, but it gets caught in Casper's mouth before he can say anything and he spat it out. It hit her in the back. She's curious what hit her, what's in the room with her. She turns around. She sees Casper. She doesn't scream. She just faints. Casper hates himself. He did it again. He goes to the bathroom. And this animation, dude, you just get the whole essence of Tex Avery Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Right? Like what the ghosts are able to do.
Yeah.
You know, not just Casper, but the ghostly trio as well.
Yeah. For Kat to faint in the cartoons, you're just missing her going all white and then fainting.
Yep. So here's Casper coming from the bathroom. He's filled with water. He twists himself like a towel.
Nice.
Just to wake up Kat. The water sprinkles on her face. She comes to and she sees again Casper in her face, a ghostly figure. She screams. Here is Dr. Harvey rushing to the bedroom, panic mode, telling her like, I seen a ghost. It was white. It was. But Dr. Harvey, being the logical one, the professional paranormal investigator, if you will, making sense of the situation, saying that ghosts can't hurt you, blah blah blah, this and that. They're just here asking for help. He's here looking around the room trying to find this, you know, quote unquote ghost, right?
Yeah.
Just like what any parent do, looking for the monster
in the closet,
looking at the bed. But there's one in the closet, and there's Casper.
Nice.
Dr. Harvey's shocked. There's a ghost.
Hi.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice.
He screams. They bolted out there. You see Dr. Harvey carrying Kat down the hall. They're trying to find some sort of safety.
Yeah.
They end up in the closet. And for them too, they get this whole revelation of the paranormal.
Yeah.
Like ghosts actually exist.
Yeah.
And they're trying to figure out how to live with it.
Yeah.
Or whatever answers that Dr. Harvey's been looking for, right?
Yeah. Like, what's their deal?
So, Dr. Harvey, doing his dadly duties, is making sure that this home is safe for him and his daughter, especially. Casper is there in the other room, you know, hating himself. Blew it. blew it. You know, he did it again. He feels like he scared a potential friend or his potential girlfriend, if you will.
Yeah.
But here comes his uncles. They came back from the racetracks, it seems, because they're decked out in everything that you would expect to see at a racetrack.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, they just give off these asshole, attitude.
Obnoxious and rude.
Yeah, exactly. And they're trying to enter the house, but here's Casper trying to stop them. Like, oh, hey guys, welcome back. But they're not buying Casper's acting. They see right through his transparent ways, if you will, and they hear that there's humans in the home.
Yeah.
They get rid of Casper so they can do their business as the poltergeist, if you will, the noisy ghosts. And here they are, they scare Dr. Harvey. He faints, and we get our kid-friendly version of possession, if you will. And they each dive into him one by one. Dr. Harvey comes to, he's in the bathroom, and we get this whole other bit of Hollywood Easter eggs, if you will,
Hollywood cameos.
Yeah. Dr. Harvey's face changes within the reflection of this mirror, changed into
Clint Eastwood.
Roger Dangerfield.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson.
Yeah. The Crypt Keeper.
From Tales from the Crypt, and it just shows the dark humor or the dark tone that this movie was stemming off of.
For sure. Right? Totally Looney Tunes, man.
And side note, Steven Spielberg was supposed to be within this scene. He was supposed to pop up, I don't know where, but I guess due to pacing issues for the movie, they cut it out.
Yeah.
And Steven Spielberg said himself that thankfully they did because he wasn't much of an actor.
That's what the mansion looks like. The mansion in the Tales from the Crypt TV show. When the camera rolls in and the intro of the show, it looks like the same mansion.
The same vibes.
And it just takes you into the house and down into the basement, the spiral staircase.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think that's what the mansion is. It looks like the ones from Tale from the Crypt.
Hey, I wonder if it's the same set designers then.
Yeah, because why put the Crypt Keeper?
Yeah. Hey, comment below, guys.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Wikipedia doesn't have all the answers. If you guys know, let us know.
Yeah.
Comment below.
For sure.
Story continues. Dr. Harvey comes to when he realizes his reflection turns into the Crypt Keeper. He gets scared, and then here's the ghostly trio popping out of him or around him or whatever it may be, but they surprise him. He goes delirious. These ghosts are just playing with him, tormenting him, and just being these noisy ghosts, if you will.
Teasing him.
Right, they're just chasing him all over this house. I feel like these are effects ahead of the time. Christina Ricci, Bill Pullman interacting with these CGI figures. They're actually there in space with them.
Yeah.
There's a cool shout out to Monte Cristo, the whole sword stare fight.
Yeah.
They homage that. Dr. Harvey's fighting the three ghosts.
In the CGI, they put like tennis balls.
Yeah.
And you have to react to that. I wonder if they did that or they're just really going off of
maybe foam doubles of the ghosts, and like
cool.
they had them floating around,
kind of like a guide.
For the camera, and then when they're gonna input the CGI.
Yeah.
Tormenting continues. Here's Kat trying to get out of the closet, but Casper gets her out. She's scared that she sees more ghosts. She runs down to the main lobby or foyer of the house. She's surprised to see her dad fighting ghosts. She doesn't know what to make of it.
Imagine if that was real life. Like you don't see the ghost, but fighting off something, but you don't see the ghost.
Right. But we get another Ghostbusters reference. It just so happened there's a vacuum at the top of the stairs, and Dr. Harvey, he uses it and he sucks them into this vacuum. And again, just straight up like Ghostbusters, they're in there and they're defeated, and the day is done, right? Nice. The morning hits, they have to get ready for the day, in the new town of Maine.
Yeah.
Kat with the dustbuster for her protection, making sure there's none of the ghosts. But Casper surprises her right away. He wraps her up. It's like, I'm a good ghost. Right?
Nice.
So she agrees, and she's just surprised of Casper and his being, she's like, you're so cold, and she's just amazed.
Yeah.
And they're getting to know each other, and as far as what Casper is or what he thinks he is.
Yeah.
And they have a moment, and she's amazed of this feeling, this transparency feeling.
Yeah. Probably feel like cold air.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Again, you guys watch those paranormal shows, they talk about feeling cold air around them.
Like put your hand in the freezer.
Comment below if you guys are into that.
Yeah.
And then here comes Dr. Harvey. He's surprised to see a ghost interacting with his daughter, but it's not the type of ghost that he was dealing with last night.
Yeah.
I can only imagine how they slept, if they even slept. You know what I mean?
Speaking of that, like moving to a new house like that, or any house, whatever, I would want to stay up the first couple nights to see like what goes on, like
For sure.
before you can have like a really good night's sleep. Like, just gotta feel out the house, you know. Unless you've been there already, but a mansion like that, I would want to stay up.
Yeah, dude. And especially with the ghostly encounters he just experienced, yeah, you probably want to be up too.
Yeah, for sure.
Based off of Dr. Harvey's face, he really looked unkept. He didn't shave, and yeah, maybe
Restless.
he really did look like he stayed up all night.
Yeah,
So here he is in the kitchen, just trying to
be regular.
with Casper, and Casper really being that friendly ghost and good hostess, if you will, the ghostess.
The ghostess with the mostest. As if they're like trying to be comfortable with knowing there's spirits in the mansion.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Getting to live with it.
Sharing the space.
Yeah.
You know? So Casper goes off and get that newspaper for Dr. Harvey. But then here comes the noisy ghost once again. They come down the ceiling like some helicopters and with that whole theme song to their arrival. They really make a grand entrance. Kat doesn't like their attitude, doesn't like their demeanor, doesn't like anything at all about them just because of how they act. But again, for her, she just has to live with it.
Yeah.
And for Dr. Harvey as well, you know, they have to figure out why they're there.
Yeah.
You know, he was hired there for a reason. Now they have to get to work. Casper comes back with the newspaper, and Casper's just trying to be that good guest, that friendly ghost.
Yeah.
But these three guys treating him like dirt. You
Yeah.
know, why you treat these humans first? You know, why do they get their meal and not us? You know, he eventually gets them their meal. They're eating, and that whole thing, hungry ghost, right?
Hungry ghost, yeah. But for physical food, like, how do you even digest that?
Right. It's really good effects.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
pretty cool.
The environment's actually reacting to the spirits.
So is Kat. Again, she's mad that these jerks of a ghost are treating Casper the way they are.
Yeah, like Cinderella.
However, Dr. Harvey, you know, he de-escalates the argument between Kat and Stretch before anything else. And while she goes off to school, now Dr. Harvey can make sense of why these three ghosts are still haunting Whipstaff.
Yeah.
Story continues. Here is Kat making her way to school, walking on the sidewalk like any normal person. But here's this sedity girl on the bike, you know, trying to run it over. She says, "Watch out!" But it's like you should be riding that on the street. But maybe people are scared or you know, whatever it may be. But then sees this cute guy, right, following this sedity girl, you know, on their way to school. So Kat ends up at school. She interacts with her so-called crush, right? They meet at her locker. She's struggling to open it, and he gallantly opens it for her, and you know, saying, "Oh, I had that locker last year. I know the trick, Mr. Fonzarelli." And they formally introduce in this guy's named Vic. And if you guys recognize him, you've probably seen him in the Mighty Ducks movies. I don't know his name right off the bat, but he's in this movie.
Nice.
And this sedity girl is supposedly his girlfriend, known as Amelia. Side busting, interrupting their conversation as if she's jealous of Kat.
Yeah.
You know, for whatever reason, she comes off as, you know, the popular girl already. Like, why are you so threatened by this new girl in school?
For real, right? Like, she just got there, you don't know her.
Right. She really has some self-esteem issues, if anything.
Just because her boyfriend said hi.
Right. Story continues. We're in the classroom. You have the teacher, you know, introducing Kat to the whole class. And again, she doesn't know that Casper has followed her because she sees him everywhere. Like, he's in the painting of Mount Rushmore, if you will, ghostly in this room.
Yeah,
you know?
trying to blend in. Stalking a cat.
You really have that ghostly attachment, right?
For a ghost, he's pretty insecure, huh?
Yeah.
Can't let go.
It says a lot about a ghost, huh?
Right? Attachment still, you know? Lightheartedly, right? But then just the concept of spirits attaching themselves to you because they like you so much.
Yeah.
And it could go for a baby.
Right.
A baby, a pet, you know? You don't know.
Weirdly unknown, y'all.
Yeah, it's weird, y'all. Stay weird.
Very much like this scene because, again, you have Amelia still hating on Kat, making fun of her as she's introducing herself to the class and giving her 411 on why they're there at Whipstaff. this classroom is shocked, as if they know what goes down there.
Yeah, and that reputation the house has.
Right, but you have Kat just downplaying it, saying it's not that bad once you get comfortable or whatever maybe. And then here's this kid. You know, I think if it wasn't for this kid, they would probably have a bougie Halloween party. Because prior to Kat introducing herself, the teacher said that their Halloween dance might be postponed.
For 2 months.
Right, but then here's Amelia being that popular girl, like, well, we can have it at my house. But the whole class doesn't seem enthusiastic about it, as if like they've experienced her bougie parties before.
Or they've been there.
You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for him, they would have a bougie party because he's the one that suggested to have the party at Whipstaff. You know,
probably wouldn't be no Casper movie,
right? And then the whole class takes a vote, and you have Amelia looking moated, embarrassed. You know, it's like, I thought we were gonna have it at my place. Well, let's take a vote. And no one voted, but everyone voted for Whipstaff.
Even the teacher.
The
teacher wanted to go there too.
Right. So party at Whipstaff for Halloween, right?
So I wonder if the teacher went to her party too. Like, I don't want to go there again.
For real, dude. So again, like Amelia just has that reputation, right? But for whatever reasons, to be this jealous type, I don't know. You seem to have it all already. But she's doing her. Back at the mansion, you have Dr. Harvey doing his therapy work with the ghostly trio, why they're tormenting the human world and not crossing over. You know? But them being the poltergeist, they're not giving him a straight answer. They're wrecking his things, shooting his diploma.
Not giving a shit about humans.
Right. They're about to shoot down the photo of his deceased wife, but he saved it.
Oh, man.
He caught it just in time, and he said, nope, not this one. And you have these ghostly trio wondering why he's so infatuated with this photo, and you have Dr. Harvey, surprisingly enough, he's opening up to this ghostly trio. But, you know, they use that to their advantage. You know, they're going to use that in a way of, like, spiritual
manipulation.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Look, in the paranormal world, the number 3 ghostly trio.
Right.
They'll knock 3 times.
Right.
Where you get 3 scratches.
And ghosts are known for being manipulative as far as being a certain ghost. But like in this session, you know, the ghostly trio is convincing Dr. Harvey that he can talk to his wife. Like, they have connections like that. But they jokingly do so. They have this glowing aura behind this door. Dr. Harvey's walking, approaching it. He opens it, but it's Fatso in a red dress. My man!
Lobo.
Right? Kind of looks like Face on Love. Comment below if you guys know who that is, but he kind of has that resemblance. But Fatso tricking him, kissing him, whole Bugs Bunny, Looney Tunes, you know, and they reveal like they don't have such answers. They don't know such things in the spirit world, like what goes on, you know what I mean? It's as if like every ghost is on their own line or
own path of the spirit,
you know, and it all depends on who they want to coexist with, you know, as far as them being the trio.
Who they want to show themselves to.
So it seems like for Dr. Harvey, there's a lot more work to be done if these 3 are going to be this troublesome. So story continues. Kat is being visited by Vic. Vic is being used as the pawn by Amelia to go out with him for the date, you know, for the Halloween dance, if you will, because Kat doesn't know that him and Amelia are dating, so she doesn't know as well that she's being tricked. And you see Casper, you know, in the background mocking Vic. He's being the jealous ghost, and, you know, he doesn't want Kat to go with him at least. But when she agreed, you just look how sad he went and just phased out behind, and you feel for Casper at that moment. So her and Vic, they agree for the dance. He walks away. She's happy. But again, she doesn't see Amelia hiding, just watching that whole thing. And Vic is disgusted that Amelia made him do that. But I guess popularity is a big thing in this small town of friendship, right?
Yeah, man. Feels like that's been written in like so many like high school movies.
Story continues. She's getting ready for bed, and then here's Casper surprising her first in her music box, you know, just showing off his dancing skills. Like, look, I can dance. But she's getting annoyed. She can't explain to him that you're a ghost. People are not going to understand you the way I do, receive you the way I do. You know, Casper is sad, and
a strange thought. Like, you take away Casper and just like So in the real world, you talk to a spirit, like a spirit that won't leave you alone, that lives in your home,
Man, dude.
but you can actually talk to it.
Man, that's crazy.
And it's like you can't tell it to leave or whatever.
You have to find a way to live with it.
You can't.
And then here's Casper continuously trying to persuade her to the point where he animates himself to look like Superman, carries her off into the night. She's floating in the air. I don't know if Casper lost grip or she just wiggled out of his hands, but she starts falling. Casper obviously catches her, being that animated Superman, but you just see them going off into the night, and they end up at this lighthouse.
Yeah.
On top of it, just looking into the horizon.
Nice.
Casper's telling her this is where he goes when he needs to think or whatever. Talks about more about his life as far as what he remembers of his human life.
Yeah.
They safely make it back at the mansion. They're in the bedroom. She's nodding off. She's about to sleep. I believe Kat asked her about her mom and if he ever encountered meeting her or something like that. And, that was a pretty touching moment as far as trying to understand the spirit world, the afterlife. Maybe Casper fell in love with her even more as far as, like Kat's not really afraid of the spirit world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she's really engaging with it.
Yeah.
And then Casper just threw out those words, "Can I keep you?" In terms of like, "I love you" or "I want to be with you."
Yeah.
Kind of, just trying to be that romantic type.
Like almost obsessive.
Maybe. But Kat's falling asleep. She doesn't probably understand what she just heard, but she just agrees. She's like, mm-hmm. But maybe for Casper, it might take that as misunderstanding. But he kissed her on the cheek, and she woke up from that. She's like, "Casper, can you close the window? It's cold."
Like reality set in.
Right.
Like, here it goes, Casper. Don't forget that.
Right.
It's like that saying, spirits forget that they've passed, but they haven't crossed over.
Story continues. You see Dr. Harvey in distress, and Kat walks in, and she's asking for money so she can get a Halloween costume. But with them being low on funds, he can't grant that wish as far as giving money. And there's no high demand for a spiritual psychologist, if you will.
For sure.
She comes to an understanding, and now she has to figure out what her costume will be. Story continues. Seems like Kat was exploring the mansion even more, and she just stumbles upon what it seems to be Casper's old playroom. Right, so she restores it. She surprises Casper with it. Casper just gets hit with a stream of memory, it seems, and they end up at this attic where there seems to be an old dress of Casper's mom's. Casper gives this dress to Kat, as a present. Or maybe as a costume, because later that night is the party, right? In midst of all of that, she finds newspaper clippings about Casper's dad and that he was a scientist and that he was on the verge of discovering such formula or such breakthroughs, right? For the paranormal world, if you will. But with his passing, none of that got revealed to the world.
Right.
And then here's Casper. He finds his sled, and he gets struck with that memory of how he died.
Yeah.
Right.
Sledding all day.
Right. And I don't know if they disclosed this in the cartoons or in the comics. He had ghost parents, but they didn't really talk about how they came to be or whatnot. But for this movie, they elaborated that he died of pneumonia as a kid.
Yeah.
He was sledding all day into the night, sweating and whatnot.
Now I kind of want to read the comics. How does the comic read? Or number one, what happens? Or is it really a ghost? And then he talks to another character about what happened.
Right, he's just doing PSA, kid-friendly adventures type stuff.
Yeah.
This leads to more articles being found and Casper remembering more things as far as when he hears the word Lazarus. Right, because that's what his father was working on. And with that such memory, here's Casper dragging Kat all through the house, through these secret compartments of the house, if you will. This chair, what it seems like the library of the mansion, it goes down the spiral staircase into the underground and this weird tunnel.
Almost like cartoon, like conveyor belt-ish type contraption.
But it just leads to this secret laboratory and what seems to be Casper's father's, right?
Oh, yeah.
His workplace.
Laboratory,
And here's Casper and Kat just trying to figure out what are they supposed to find. So as they're going through the laboratory, Kat finds this switch hidden within the book of Frankenstein. It's like a fake book, but then once you open it, there's like a switch, and that switch brings forth the Lazarus machine.
Oh, yeah.
And you just see it rising from the waters, just revealing itself, and Casper just gets this more of a memory, like, yep, there it is. Like, this is the machine that my dad's been working on. And Kat sees the formula or the juice that's supposed to go into the machine, and Casper says, be careful. You know, that's the thing that powers it all, right?
Yeah.
And so this is Casper's chance to become a human again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he knows what this machine is supposed to do, because he's been there with his dad throughout that whole time, making it as a ghost child, if you will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because his dad was so sad that Casper died. That's the only reason he made this machine. He wants to bring his son back to life. And
That cemetery stuff.
dude, seriously, talk about playing God, right?
As if he was Frankenstein.
Exactly.
Dang. It's
Exactly.
crazy.
Yeah, so here's Casper, about to be human again. He enters the chamber, the formula goes in, it turns. Kat does all the switches that she was taught by Casper, but amongst the machine, wiring up, getting warmed up, whatever have you, the formula gets pulled out by this mysterious hand.
Oh.
And that mysterious hand is Kerrigan and Dibs.
Hiding.
They followed Casper and Kat all the way down to this secret laboratory.
Yeah.
And they take the formula, they overheard everything, what it's for, and they're given information they need to make, well, as far as for Kerrigan's point of view, she's going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Dibs being her partner, asking, well, what about me, and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
for her being Sadidi as well, and, you know, having that machine there,
Yeah.
right, they can show the world what this machine can do, but one of them has to die. Kerrigan tries to sacrifice
Yeah.
Dibs, but then
Yeah.
Dibs is dodging her. Dibs is hiding within this mansion, wets the floor somehow and makes it slippery, and, you know, you have Kerrigan just sporadically sliding down this hallway,
Yeah.
out the window.
Oh.
She falls out, Dibs follows her, he's trying to find her. But here she is in the car, trying to run him down. Dibs dodged the car. Kerrigan puts too much gas in that pedal. She doesn't know where she's going. She runs into a tree. She's discombobulated. She doesn't know where she is. But Kerrigan, she comes out of the car, but not knowing that she's on the cliff, and she just falls down that cliff.
Oh, man.
She falls to her death. Dibs comedically asks, Kerrigan!
Are you dead yet?
Are you dead yet? And he gets that answer as far as her evil spirit just rising up from that fall and, you know, just overshadowing him.
Damn.
He's shocked to what he sees.
It's totally like ghosts.
Alright?
Like Willie Lopez. He died, they come, you see him as a ghost right away. Like, whoa.
Story continues. We're at this bar. It's karaoke night. We're with Dr. Harvey and the ghostly trio. The place looks like a mess. Dr. Harvey's singing his heart out. The ghostly trio are drinking. They're pondering on maybe adding Dr. Harvey to the team. You know, killing him, making him a ghost, right? There's nobody in this bar. Maybe one person, but he's like knocked out, drunk, out of his mind maybe. But he's just there on the table, sleeping, not really paying attention to Ghost or Dr. Harvey. But with that liquid courage, Dr. Harvey has a heart-to-heart. He tells the ghost how much he loves them and that,
Open,
that they deserve to haunt the house. You know, he's going to tell Kerrigan to leave you guys alone. What we have here with this relationship is, I love it.
Yeah,
you know?
we can coexist together.
Right, he's just
Yeah,
having
yeah.
this whole heart-to-heart. To the point, the ghostly trio choose not to kill him.
Yeah.
But again, where this bar is, it's over a cliff, it seems. I don't know what, but
Yeah.
Dr. Harvey's making his way to the front door, about to walk out, but he doesn't see the cliff, the construction work that's being done, and the ghostly trio is trying to stop him, but it was too late. He falls over, and I guess he dies. You know what I mean?
What the fuck? Yeah.
So, fast forward back to the mansion. Casper's trying to figure out what happened. Since Kerrigan took the juice, the formula out of the machine, it didn't work. He became an egg instead.
Oh.
Am I alive yet?
With droopy eyes, like, oh no. Look like Mr. Fantastic.
So he's being put back together by Kat. You know, they're trying to figure out what they can do. But then they hear this malicious laugh coming out of nowhere, and they find out that it's Kerrigan.
Oh.
And they find that Kerrigan's a ghost, and then they have the formula. and they found the treasure.
Oh.
You know, Kat's defending Casper, but Kerrigan, being the malevolent one, she doesn't care. She has what she wants.
Right.
Kat and Casper are trying to keep the formula safe away from Kerrigan and Dibs. They end up back on that chair. They go backwards on how they came into the secret laboratory. They're back upstairs into the mansion, but ding dong, here's the party that Kat promised the school. Right?
Yeah.
They arrive, and here's the teacher and the students. We're here. With all this stuff going down under the house, you know, Kat is really discombobulated, doesn't know how to play hostess at the moment. But she just encouraged them to come in, get comfortable, set up whatever needs to be done.
Yeah.
But this whole school is slowly creeping in the house, just being very cautious of what they're stepping into. And fast forward back to the secret laboratory, you see Dibs trying to open Casper's treasure box. He finds no threat from Casper or Kat, but Dibs is really fed up at this point for the way he's being mistreated by Kerrigan. But here is Kerrigan's spirit once again in this afterlife, still coming off as the sedity one, and she just pretty much gets rid of Dibs and just swipes him out of the window.
Becomes a villain, dude.
Right. And again, with that formula in her hand, and as a ghost, she has what she wants, right? She's happy.
Yeah.
And then here's Kat. Kat tricks her with this whole crossing over bit, talking about unfinished business.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like every ghost has unfinished business. That's why they can't carry on or whatever. For Kerrigan, she says, "What unfinished business? I don't have any unfinished business. I have all I want. I have the formula. I have my treasure. I have everything I want."
It's funny how, like, she still thinks you can take that to the spirit world.
Yeah.
You know, like, even with the trio, like food and drinks, as if like you can still feel the sensations from the physical world.
Oh, maybe hence that's where the whole attachment to items.
Yeah.
You know, that's why you get cursed objects, or, you know, the whole Annabelle thing. And I don't know how this works, but the spirit world finds that as, okay, you want to cross over. You know? So she starts glowing from inside out.
Internal combusting.
Vanishes into thin air. The formula floating in midair, about to fall down. Kat catches it. Kat and Casper are more shocked of the treasure chest and what's in it. But it opens, and they find out that it's Casper's baseball glove and a baseball signed by one of his favorite players from the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Yeah. Dude, like in Richie Rich, his baby stuff.
Oh,
with the
yeah.
cap.
So as if, like, that's what Casper played with the most.
Yeah.
Minus the sled, if anything.
And that was more so for his dad's memory of his son, Casper.
That's what he treasured most.
Exactly. Like in Richie Rich, it was his baby shoes, his baby clothes.
Right.
It's what we treasured the most.
Speaking of Richie Rich, y'all, in the cartoon or in the comics, Casper almost looked like the same design as Richie Rich.
Yeah.
So there's that whole theory that Richie Rich died and he's Casper.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, that's probably all of in the midst of like Harvey Comics character design, like making it their shorthand, you know, as far as character design.
Yeah,
but
you got Deadpool, you got Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But hey, comment below. Are we wrong? Let us know what you know.
Yeah.
Story continues. Casper gets to become human again. You know, he's going to go through the machine one more time and make it work, since now they have the formula.
Yeah.
But before they can even do that, they hear a goofy noise floating down from the ceiling, and they turn around. It's Dr. Harvey. Kat's surprised that Dr. Harvey's dead, or that he's a ghost, and she's mad at the ghostly trio. Like, what did you do to him? You know? She's mad in frustration. She starts tearing up, and like, they took away her dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Her only family.
And the spirit of Dr. Harvey doesn't know who she is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how the spirit world works in terms of that, but he doesn't recognize her. That saddens her even more. But what brings it all back together is that pinky promise. That same pinky promise they had in that car scene. He finally remembers, and he's ashamed of what he's done, and he has left Kat by herself, you know?
I remember now.
Cat Blue!
Kind of weird, like he forgot who she was.
However, here is Casper being the gallant one. He takes Dr. Harvey and puts him in that machine, and he says, "Come on, Dr. Harvey, you need this more than I do."
Yeah.
being the bigger person, gives the formula to Dr. Harvey. He wires up the machine. He puts the juice in there. And as the machine gets done, the chamber opens. He pops out. Him and Kat get this big reunion,
It's really big of Casper, as if, like, he took accountability for what his uncles did. The Ghostly Trio. He felt like he was responsible for that. Or just to make up for that gesture.
Man.
It's like he forgot about what he wanted, right? And he really understood what Kat wanted instead.
Right. Casper is a real one for that one, man.
Yeah.
And
that's really cool.
Really noble.
And like, granted, how the trio treated Casper, he really had a bigger heart,
Mm-hmm. So story continues. The night has to end on a good note somehow, right?
Yeah.
So Kat and Dr. Harvey are overlooking her party. Dr. Harvey has his heart-to-heart with Kat, gives his fatherly kiss and encouragement, and lets her be at her own party. Amongst that, here is Amelia and Vic. They were there ahead of time of the party. They're about to do their prank. But as they're done getting ready, here's the Ghostly Trio doing their thing, as if like they're protecting Kat.
Yeah.
So they scare Amelia and Vic. They get terrorized. They scream out that room, out to the party. She gets embarrassed. She gets whiplashed, and she falls to the ground. But Vic is still dragging her, and she's screaming. And the whole school is entertained. They're clapping it up for Kat as if she threw on that show, and just for the reputation that Whip Staff has.
Yeah.
So they thought it was a show, but she's confused. But again, thanks to this kid, this school wouldn't have a cool party.
Yeah.
Gave his opinion.
Spoke up.
Yeah. So story continues. Here is Casper in his room, playing with his prize baseball. And again, with this being his treasure, you wouldn't know how much this ball is actually worth, because if it's signed by a Brooklyn Dodger, how old is that? That's like America's pastime of baseball, I'm forgetting the player's name, but if he's a real player, you can only imagine the value. Right? So as Casper's playing with his baseball, he's throwing it up in the air, but all of a sudden it doesn't come back down. He looks up and he sees this glow coming down through the roof. And it's Kat's mom. It's her ghost, it's her spirit, and she gives admiration to Casper, the noble thing that he did, for Kat, and how Kat needs her dad at this time, given that the mom is out of the picture.
Yeah.
And with that, she's gonna reward him, with that whole Cinderella bit. You have until midnight, but for Casper being 12 years old, he has till 10. He gets granted that wish of being a human again, a human boy. Fast forward, we're back at the party. It's a slow dance scene. Everyone's dancing, everyone has their couples. But here's Kat sitting alone, no one to dance with. But then amongst this crowd, you just see the camera just going through the wave of people, and you see this mysterious hand reach out for Kat. Kat's confused on who this person is. She's mesmerized by him, but they end up dancing. They're floating in the air. She doesn't know until come realization that she is. She's frightened, but with those words, "Can I keep you?" She's shocked that Casper is alive, and they're dancing their night away.
That's funny thought that it's Kat's mom who showed herself to Casper as a ghost, and yet Casper gave Kat his mom's dress. As if like Casper got to dance with his mom again one last time, but making Kat wear the dress.
As if she too talked to the mom, Casper's mom, like the parents of Casper were just watching admiration, like, "Oh, look at our son."
Yeah. Like your in-law giving you her ring.
Feels like the same sentiment. Yeah, for sure. Within this moment, Dr. Harvey gets his as well. His final words with his wife,
Yeah, for sure.
She makes herself appear for Dr. Harvey. He gets to touch her, one final time,
What'd you say? French fries and ice cream is not breakfast.
Yeah, so
something like that.
She's letting him know that she's watching them.
Yeah, protecting, watching over.
Right, and that he needs to do a better job as the father. But, she understands that he's doing his best. And
that's cool. Like in the paranormal world,
right?
They're still around.
Mm-hmm.
They say, "Oh, they're always with you. They're always watching over you."
You just don't know how. Right?
Yeah.
But it makes you more weary and like all the time.
Yeah, for sure. Like I think we'll go out for a little bit and we'll come back.
All the time. Back to the dance. 10 o'clock strikes. Casper sees the time.
Casper?
His time is up. he shoots his shot. Casper goes for a kiss. Maybe the unfinished business that he was looking for.
Yeah.
But he gets that kiss, but turns back into a ghost. Here's the kids at the party. They're shocked at what they see. Casper just says, boo? The whole school just bolted out there.
Hell yeah.
Throwing themselves over the banister. It's like these kids are delirious and just out in terror.
Man.
But that wasn't bad for Kat's first party. Casper has to agree, knowing that that was probably his first party as well.
Yeah.
You know, that was definitely an experience for all of them, including Dr. Harvey. You know, this story ends on the rock and roll version of Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Yep. Sang by Little Richard.
Little Richard, dude. I don't know if
Yeah.
it was really him, but it sounded dead on like him.
Yeah.
And to the point, Stretch dressed up as him.
Yeah.
Like, "Ooh."
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, y'all. I mean, this movie ends up on a good note, you know, as far as for Kat, maybe being the next popular one at school.
Yeah, you can only imagine the questions when she gets back to school.
Seriously, dude.
Or like they'll look at her twice as weird, or like, whoa, you just kissed a ghost.
Yeah. Dr. Harvey has more answers as far as for the spirit world,
Yeah.
and he has proof to back it up.
Yeah.
And as far as for Casper, I mean, I don't know what his unfinished business is in terms of this movie. You know, he has a friend. He proved that his dad's formula works,
Yeah.
that the Lazarus works,
You can't get older.
right? He found his treasure.
Yeah.
He regained his memory as far as how he died. What else is there for him?
Yeah.
You know, what else will keep him on this earth realm? What will have him cross over?
Like if he does cross over, he won't remember that present. You know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe he'll be like in another body with his memory wiped.
Man, it's definitely a lot of questions of the unknown, and as far as the supernatural, the paranormal, and just how all this works, and how us humans interact with it.
Just a cartoon alone. You know, you can question the paranormal.
And then, you know, how children and the paranormal tie together in terms of kids having the sixth sense, or children interacting with the paranormal world. You know, that's a real thing. There are cases such as that, and puts more in question of how the spirit world works.
Yeah.
And if we as humans should be tampering with knowing the dangers and how it relates to religion and occults activity, and how that's a taboo, you know.
And like for people to be skeptics and like trying to like debunk a lot of things, like
what other proof do you need?
yeah, like what other proof do you need? Like oh, it's all scientific. If you do this and that, this is gonna happen. Like you know,
When there's no scientific proof, how do you disprove something?
Yeah.
You know, that's truly paranormal.
yeah,
You know?
like explain that.
Yeah. So yeah, that was Casper. Again, for a 1995 film, this movie is still relevant today.
Yeah. The quality's still great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
CGI still holds up. It was ahead of the time.
Totally, the CGI really holds up.
Yeah.
It looks even more crisp than what we have today for certain movies,
Totes.
where it's just too obvious.
Totes. With Amblin and Steven Spielberg, putting the money behind this movie, you know, it was definitely had high quality. The tone of it still holds up.
Yeah.
You know.
Speaking of CGI work, it's up there with Michael J. Fox's Frighteners.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's like they both came out in the 90s, mid-90s. You know?
The technology definitely ahead of the time. Nowadays, it's definitely overused, and it's kind of obvious based off the people's bad acting.
Yeah,
Like they don't know how to interact with such CGI.
because they think the CGI is gonna save it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, if I were to rate this, I would give this 4 out of 5. If you guys are a fan of Casper, Christina Ricci, Bill Pullman, I mean, you can't really go wrong. He plays a good dad. There was a small hiccup as far as the third act, but it didn't take away from the sentiments of this film, and you know, just the heartstrings being pulled, you know, in certain moments of this film with Kat and Dr. Harvey's, you know, interaction, and Dr. Harvey and his wife, you know, made me tear up. This film was really wholesome. It was entertaining. CGI was impressive, and to this day I still enjoy this film, no matter how old, like 29, almost 30 years old.
Yeah, about to be 30 years next year.
Depending on when you watch this episode, it's definitely a timeless movie. Again, Casper is not just a mattress. It's an actual entity of a character, comics, cartoon, and it was actually a thing. Google it, YouTube it, however you want to watch those old cartoons. You know, there's a lot of morbidity in those old cartoons, but you know, again, like how do you write ghosts and paranormal stuff for kids?
Yeah.
It's still making it fun.
Yeah,
you know?
in a movie no less.
Yeah, for this live action, definitely had the time, and I have to give it 4 out of 5.
For me, yeah, I'd probably go the same. I mean, honestly, like maybe 4 or 5.
Right.
From cartoon to live action, it's good CGI. I never really watched the cartoons to really know if, like, you know, main characters. So having Dr. Harvey, which was a nod to Harvey comics, right?
Oh, totes.
Yeah.
Totes.
But like, as far as watching cartoons, I don't even think they had like Cat or Doctor as a real main character.
I don't think
just
so.
Casper.
After this movie, they did
Yeah.
spin off a TV show on Fox.
Yeah.
And they used Cat and Dr. Harvey in there.
Perfect. Given the fact that it's a cartoon, but then he's a ghost, for the CGI, it actually worked better as a ghost compared to watching like a Space Jam or Brendan Fraser's Looney Tunes, where it looks really green screen. You know what I mean? But given that they're ghosts, you can really play with the transparency, and it won't look so wonky.
Yeah.
You can still have them all in the same stage, same setting.
You can say this Casper movie is definitely up there with Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
In terms of the CGI in that and what that bar set.
Yeah, you see a lot of green screen in Space Jam. That's why I think like Frighteners worked well. For the CGI, it's like it really works.
And this movie still works well too.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I like how they touch on the paranormal stuff.
Yeah, me too.
It's not dense, but curiosity of the mind. Maybe make kids go deeper into it, go down the rabbit hole, research themselves. You know, like what if this Casper movie sparked them to be investigators, right? Kind of makes sense the way they designed Casper, the way they designed him. To put him in a cartoon as a ghost kid, well, I'd explain that to kids, like, what is he?
Yeah.
Is he dead? How did he die, you know?
Yeah.
That's why at least, like, with this design, you can just throw him in situations. But if you drew him as a kid ghost, like, what's up with this kid? Like, how'd he die? Then I think that would be darker.
If you guys haven't experienced this film yourself, gain that experience, whether you're a ghost enthusiast or not, into the paranormal or not. This movie is definitely something to enjoy if you have a family or not.
If you believe it or not, right?
But seeing is believing, and you just got to experience this film in your own way. And however you do it, whatever bin you can find this movie in, however you stream it, definitely experience it.
It's like, it's just as fun as watching Gremlins. Fun for the family.
And if you reach this part of the video, we highly appreciate you because you already know time is expensive.
Yes.
But if you're here for the first time, like, subscribe, comment below what do you want us to look into next. But if you're a returnee, you already know. Share what you watched, continue spreading the word, what the brothers Nino and Oliver are doing over here on Creativity and Cheap.
Yes.
Because we definitely got more movies, comics, music reviews, and our own creations on the way.
Yes, on the way.
Physical follow, avatar follow, whatever floats your boat. Follow us along on this journey.
Yes, please do.
And now we like to end this episode with a motivational quote for y'all. But if you heard this before, by all means, just let it be a self-reflection of where we are today.
In the present.
And this one is by Stephen King. And it states, monsters are real, and ghosts are real too. They live inside us, and sometimes they win. End quote. I mean, there are monsters out there, some shape or form, however we look at them.
Yeah.
Real human beings or creatures that have yet to be discovered.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, as far as ghosts, to this day, they exist. It's known. There are paranormal groups out there.
Yeah.
Casper was just the tip of the iceberg in terms of what the paranormal is.
Or like just kids watching Casper for the first time and they hear the word ghost and they ask their parents, Mom, what's a ghost?
Right. And there are such stories where kids do see ghosts,
Yeah.
you know?
So that's a guarantee.
Or their kids getting hurt by such entities and they don't know how to find answers, right? The poltergeist activity, the noisy ghost, if you will.
We've heard stuff but never witnessed stuff, but I'm open to it. I know it exists.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to experience it, don't pay no attention to it. If you're scared like that, you know?
And don't disrespect it.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know.
Don't play with it either.
Yeah. As far as what we know and just the accounts that have been put out there, it's like the more you torment or the more you provoke certain spirits, they don't like being disrespected.
Yeah, and nobody likes being poked at constantly.
Right.
You're eventually going to react to it.
Living or dead. No one likes it.
Nope, because they will haunt your ass.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're laughing while they do it.
So let Casper and let the unknown of the supernatural, spark an interest of having that open mind of the other world or what's going on around us.
Yeah.
And can't always chalk it up to being scientific or that's just a house settling in, or the most illogical things you can come up with. There are supernatural answers out there, and if you have questions, there are definitely a lot of professionals out there that know their stuff.
And I believe that 99% of those who are skeptics are just actually scared because they know it exists. They're just trying to really downplay it.
Right, and what's that saying? They fear what they don't know.
That's why they want to debunk it. Like, they don't want it to be real. Hey, nothing against ghost hunters. Yeah, we do need that debunking. But when there's something you really gonna explain, don't always chalk it up to science,
Yeah.
Chalk it up to supernatural.
And when you have proven mediums out there who do their stuff, they come out with real evidence of the paranormal and supernatural.
Yep.
That's still up to you if you want to chalk it up to coincidence, science, whatever it may be. But, when you have evidence to prove each things.
Yeah, when you see mysterious creatures you've never seen before, that's science. That's like otherworldly science, biological. Like, what the fuck is that? But then when it comes to like shit you can't see or explain, it's gotta be supernatural.
Again, let Casper be this inspiration or a spark to be open to the supernatural, and however you go about it, just be safe and just know what you're getting into, and just be respectful of those who passed on. And they can't hurt you, but they just need help.
And if you have loved ones that pass, just know they're watching over you.
Yeah.
Just saying hello, or like they're with you. Feel goosebumps, right?
So if you know that presence of such family member, that's them just saying what's up. And
a certain smell.
Yeah.
Just know that it's okay.
It's okay.
This is fine. This is okay. Would I want to go paranormal investigating? Probably not. Not to go look for it, but if we're there, we're there. But I'm not going to go asking questions or try to look for it, maybe.
The spirits can attach to you, and you don't know if it will be a good experience or a bad experience.
Don't forget, guys, a spirit can attach to you, like, in a hospital. Or cemetery, what else?
Funeral homes.
The
paranormal is something not to take lightly of, and you just gotta respect the dead.
Yeah, respect their boundaries and territories.
That's it.
Respect the portals. Zach, go. Billy, Tolly, go.
Because it's that time, y'all. We're gonna say, stay creative, keep creating.
Stay independent, have your own voice.
Do your best as a human being to stay motivated and to keep on going.
Yeah, man, stay positive. Kill the negativity. Spread the love, y'all.
And if you don't dabble in the paranormal, just be wary, just be respectful. Just know what you're getting into. And just do your research.
For sure.
Till next time, y'all.
Till next time.
Peace.
Peace.